Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a very special event in the form of the Drive Lounge versus Kids Creator Race. Now, for those that are new to the world of Drive Lounge, welcome. It's an absolutely amazing venue based in Westfield, London, and also in Castle Quarter in Norwich. My name is Zach Sweeney. I'm sort of the driver coach, and I work at Drive Lounge, and I'm also a motorsport commentator. I wear a lot of hats, and I'm going to be here to talk you through our race today. We've just wrapped up our qualifying session, and it's Jake Lester that takes pole position from racing prodigy driver of Nathan Maximan here at Silverstone, the home of British motorsport. And ahead of us, a 15-minute battle to decide both a prize for our creators, but also a one-year scholarship to our winning child driver, ahead, of course, of the Drive Lounge Academy that we run. A little bit more on that in just a moment. But gearing ourselves up for a fantastic race. As you can see, the light's about to come on, and that race down towards turn number 1. It's Jake Lester and Nathan Maximan that lock out the front row here in Formula 4 machinery. The lights are coming on, and that short dash towards Abbey Corner at turn number 1. The lights go out and we go racing here at Drive Lounge, and a good launch from the front row from the all-blue machine of Jake Lester. He will lead them down and towards the opening corner here at Abbey, and quite comfortably ahead of Nathan Maximan, who of course has been a part of the championship-winning Guild Racing team as part of Racing Prodigy. Now in towards turn number 3 here at Village, and a good look to the outside from the red and black machine of Nathan Maximan, but not quite able to find a way through. That car in third position at the moment of Long is a change for the lead actually from Nathan Maximan. He nips his way up the inside and through on Jake Lester, but Long there just in behind one of the children that's part of the racing camp this weekend. He's been incredibly strong all day long, and right now is looking quite good to take on two absolute titans of the sim racing community. Trying to go to the outside is the yellow and black machine of Daniel. Really good look, but not quite enough as Maximan goes in a bit too deep through Luffield. And now as they work their way out of Luffield and onto this back straight, the old pit straight through Woodcote and towards Cops Corner, looking back from Long as he's got the likes of Miles and Nathan Richards, a sim racing commentator in his own right, is the number 5 machine, the all green Formula 4. We work our way in towards Cops Corner and a look to the inside there from, I think that's Milena trying to find a way through. Again, one of the young female racers that we've got as part of the Drive Lounge After School Club. She's looking to go and get that scholarship. We've got two cars drawing themselves side by side as we work through the legendary Maggots, Beckett's and Chapel, the number 4 there of Law VS, one of our content creators joining us for today's event. Nathan Maximan though in control. He's got a good couple of seconds clear of the likes of Miles and Nathan Richards, who's now worked his way up into the podium positions. He's been pretty decent, it must be said, over the course of today's event, taking a number of podium finishes side by side as we can see Amber Jones there getting overtaken from Ewan. Amber, of course, our fantastic host over the course of today. And there's contact actually. She's gone straight into the back of Ewan, going in towards Stowe Corner. That's going to send him off. Thankfully, damage set to a very minimal standard for the Drive Lounge Racing squad today. Of course, Milena there, you can see following a very young female driver, and always good to get that representation. An absolute star, racing with her brother. So a bit of a family affair going on with Milena. She's up there inside the top 5, looking very, very good indeed. And with only 10.5 minutes left of this race remaining, time of course of the essence to settle into this battle and get yourself working forward. And a bit actually, because we haven't really had a chance to touch on it, a bit of a touch on to sort of what's at stake for today's racing. So for the creators, of course, it's a great opportunity for them to come down and experience Drive Lounge. Of course, we're here at Westfield, are an amazing venue down in London. I mean, it's, if you've not been here, I implore you to come. We've got 6 pro sim rigs, of course, with Playseat and the Sim Magic equipment as well, and load cell. Somehow one of the drivers have worked their way over there. That of course is Nathan Maximan, our race leader, who's made a mistake. And then also we've got 12 sort of GT rigs, again with the Pro Sim Rig equipment and the Sim Magic load cell and haptic feedback. You're never going to be missing a sensation when you come to a Drive Lounge venue. Of course, the creators are racing to help nurture and train some of our children, and they're also racing for a John Lewis voucher and some wine. And you can see there the racing getting quite intense as the likes of Long and Leicester, who of course started towards the front end of the field there in 7th and 8th, battling away in towards Maggots and Beckett's. But of course for the children, they're battling for a scholarship in the after school program, a 1-year scholarship to take them through Module 1 all the way to Module 3 and then beyond. For those that are sort of looking to get themselves and their children into the world of sim racing, but also sort of look into the elements of the education side of things. We run a very comprehensive education program, and Miles and Richards at the moment running a very decent race towards the front end of the field. Nathan Richards tries to find a way through. Nathan Maximan trying to work his way back into the equation as well. Miles at the moment going defensive in towards the Vale chicane. There's contact. Nathan Maximan straight into the back end of Nathan Richards, who himself goes into the back end of Miles. He's just able to hang on there. Nathan Richards somehow taking the lead of the race through all of that kerfuffle. Ticking on to another lap, 8 minutes and 40 seconds left on the clock. We've got 4 cars all fighting for the race lead. Richards fights his way through. Here comes Lord VS as well. He's up onto the back end of Nathan Maximan, who was very quick in the Radical SR3s at Anglesey earlier on in the day. Of course, familiar territory for him. Brandon Miles, though, goes off the road, going through turn number 2 at Farm, into the braking zone at Village. And Lord VS finds his way through in that number 4 machine. Maximan and Lord VS both in the number 4, that red and black Formula 4 machinery. Nathan Richards has been able to work his way forwards, though, now 1.4 seconds clear of the rest of the pack. Following this battle, Brandon Miles alongside with Lord VS, also a bit further back into the pack. Milena under pressure from Leicester. The number 6 blue machine trying to go to the outside of Brooklands, and that's always going to be a tough affair, especially in this Formula 4 machinery. A little bit understeery on the front end, but able to capitalise and find a way through. Back into the top 5 for the number 6 machine. Lane a bit of understeer on the exit of Luffield as well, and that's a bit of a challenge actually with this Formula 4 car. Not obviously huge amounts of downforce, still definitely there, but around some of the long demanding corners here at Silverstone, that trail braking, keeping some of that weight on the front end is incredibly important. Otherwise you fall victim to just washing out wide. And for a lot of our content creators as well, a lot of their familiarity with the world of sim racing comes from the Formula 1 game. We don't use that here at Drive Lounge. You know, we focus more on the realism aspect and that diversity across loads of different categories of racing, touring cars, Formula 1, Formula 2, Formula 3, LMP2, Le Mans prototypes, whatever you can name, we've probably got it in some capacity, even for transit fans at Drive Lounge. So we use the Assetto Corsa platform. So for a lot of these sim race creators, this is completely unfamiliar territory. We've raced in GT4, we've raced in Radicals. Now, of course, for the final race in Formula 4 machinery, it's been a completely new learning curve for these guys, almost as to an extent as to our children. There's a huge slap of oversteer there, goodness me, from Blake, who was just able to hang on in the balance there. The fight for the lead has closed down, though. Nathan Richards versus Nathan Maximan, the battles of the Nathans. One of them a sim racing commentator, again familiar with the Formula 1 game, the other a real life champion in the form of Nathan Maximan. Tries to go to the inside through turn number 3, does about just get it stopped. Nathan Richards could try and go to the outside, but not really too much avail there. Runs a bit wide off the exit of the loop, now through Aintree and onto the Wellington straight, tucked up nicely in the slipstream. And onto the back of Nathan Maximan. Is there a move that could be made in towards Brooklands and Luffield? I don't think quite close enough. Following along here as well, Miles on the back of Leicester, who's nicely worked his way back into P4 and potentially podium contention as well. Riding on board and getting a good look there at the virtual face of Nathan Richards as he tries to battle with Maximan. The slipstream, and especially around Silverstone, incredibly powerful in these Formula 4 cars. You can really feel it, and that was definitely apparent when we took to the British Formula 4 Esports Championship in partnership with Motorsport UK, our Drive Lounge racing squad, of course of Leo Brown and Kieran Harding, that were doing battle around there, around Silverstone and all circuits in the UK over the course of this season. The slipstream in these lower powered, sort of slightly lower downforce single seaters becomes incredibly exaggerated, and well, what we're getting right now is an incredible battle because of it. Even though a couple of these creators, maybe a couple attempts disparity in terms of pure pace between them, that slipstream does then make all of the difference as we tick our way on to complete what will be the 4th lap of racing at the end of this one. Tick our way onto the 5th lap with just a third of the race left to go. 4 minutes and 47 seconds of racing remaining. Riding on board there, you can see with Lord VS, he's been sort of quite consistent, I would say. He's not been standout over the course of today, but he's been looking pretty decent, let's put it that way. Constantly up there or thereabouts, side by side as well, a bit further back between, this is Kameloff, Quintus and Blake. The black car there you can see on the inside is Blake, now moves his way up nicely into 9th position. Kameloff, who is a frequent visitor actually to Drive Lounge, joined us at our old venue in London, obviously has now joined us today here at Westfield, a completely open space, incredible venue that we've got. I cannot overstate that. So again, if you are new to the world of Drive Lounge, absolutely, again, I implore you, not just because I work there, to come down. It's one of those things that even if I didn't work there, I would probably still be spending a lot of my time down there. With just how good the equipment is and the opportunities that we've got. Again, we've taken a driver like Kieran Hardy, who's shown so much talent, but has battered his way through our competitions and our driver development program. He now races at the top flight of esports against Formula 1 teams, Alpine, Williams, and Aston Martin, Ferrari esports, and beats them quite convincingly. And we can spot that talent, we develop it here at Drive Lounge. So if you're a young aspiring sim racer, potentially between the ages of sort of 11 and 16, join our after school program. We've tailored it, with backing from education degrees and actual comprehensive ties into GCSE and Key Stage 3 education, tying it into the broader scope of how to be a better driver. We look at racecraft, aerodynamics, car setup, anything that you need to go from a beginner to an intermediate, or an intermediate even to a pro, and we've proven that through our driver development program, and that's what these drivers are racing for. Those that are partnered with the creators, fighting for that scholarship into our program. For those outside of it, if you want to join, absolutely get yourself signed up. There's loads of details if you head over to drivelounge.co.uk, find the after school tab. Everything that you need there is exactly what you need. Module 1, 2 and 3, get yourself signed up. It's only £10 a week, available both at Norwich and in London as well. But of course, out of the final couple of corners, Nathan Maximan has dominated this Creator Series event here at Drive Lounge London. He will take the final victory of the day here at the home of British Motorsport at the Silverstone Grand Prix circuit. Nathan Richards and Jake Lester will join him on the podium. A sensational event here today, getting themselves a John Lewis voucher and some bottles of wine to go with it. But of course, Daniel Longs, our child winner, that will be taking to our driver development program, that will be taking a year's scholarship to the after school program as well, will take victory amongst an esteemed group of the youngsters that are trying to prove their worth and develop their talents. And maybe one day we'll see Daniel take to the top flight of esports in a few years' time. To a Drive Lounge venue. Plenty of competitions and series and developments, and just to be honest, for a bit of fun as well. Whether you're a seasoned pro or a complete beginner in the world of sim racing, there is a home for you at Drive Lounge, and we'll see you on track very shortly.